Hello everybody, Mike Welsch coming to you from the Media Center here at Churchill Downs. We're 1 week from today. The winning trainer, maybe the winning owner, but one of them will be sitting in this seat talking about how their horse just won the Kentucky Derby. Mike Welsch here with the Kentucky Derby workout report brought to you by Spendthrift Farm, the home of Into Mischief, the only horse who sired back-to-back Derby winners. Did we see that Derby winner today, this morning? It was a busy morning. We had 9 confirmed starters in the Derby work today and 2 still looking to get in off the also eligible list. All of those plus a couple of Oaks horses just for good measure work between 7:30 and 7:45, save for 2. And thank Brad Cox for taking a little bit of load off the clockers this morning, the workout watchers, by moving up a pair of his works to 5:30, well before dawn. And those were Hit Show and Verify, and I thought both went very well under the lights. Hit Show worked in company with Captain's Conquest, broke off several lengths behind, quickly got even on the turn, and then had his head in front of the wire, going very easy, easiest of the pair. I took him in 59 and 4 for 5/8 of a mile and galloped out in 1:13. I thought this was a much better work than last week when he went in company with Verifying, but was down on the rail, maybe a little bit intimidated down on the inside. I think he was a lot happier working on the outside of his company today. And Verifying, another good work for him, had Tyler Gaffley on the board. Went in company with a very, very talented maiden of Brad Cox's, Ever So Mischievous, who got beat in nose and ran a 90 buyer in his only previous start. And they were pretty much even all the way, but Verifying did it very easily. I timed them from the 4.5 furlong pole and took them a 16th of a mile past the wire, 35 for the opening 3A split, completed the distance 59 and 2 and galloped out very well. Also 112 and 4. So it was a good early start to the day for the Brad Cox barn. They had a couple more coming later. After the break, we're going to start with the group from trainer Todd Fletcher's barn, the 3 Derby starters, and also Major Dude, who was still trying to get in. And it started with Tap It Trice, and as he's been doing all week long, made another very positive impression today. It was more like a maintenance half mile, but he went 48 and 2, fanned out wide coming into the stretch, did it as easy as could be, didn't even look like he was going that fast, and then galloped out in 101 and 1 with his stablemate. That's one of the better gallop outs of the morning, I thought. And again, if you were looking for any chinks in his armor coming in here, you didn't see it either today or any time over the past week or so. Forte was next. He's not quite the same workhorse. He doesn't make the same visual impression as in the morning as Tap It Trice. He had a maintenance move for sure today. An easy half mile in 50 flat with Irad Ortiz aboard, in hand to the wire, finishing a bit in front of his workmate Bright Future, although Bright Future actually kind of came back on him and was a little bit better on the gallop out. I took him in 103 and 2, but they did go out a long ways. And again, with Forte, you're not going to see his best game in the morning. He saves it for the afternoon. He's proven that time and time again. The team for Todd Fletcher, as I mentioned, Major Dude went with Kings Barnes, the undefeated Kings Barnes, but lightly raced Kings Barnes. Kings Barnes had Jose Ortiz up today. He has not officially been named the rider yet, but I guess that seems to be leaning more and more in that direction. They went from the half. I had them in 48 and 2, and then they galloped out extremely well, as they have been doing. This is the 3rd time in a row that they have worked in company, and all 3 works have been very good. All 3 works have featured big gallop outs, and all 3 works, Major Dude has held his own with Kings Barn. It looks like Major Dude is going to wind up in the American turf, but I had him gallop out 6 furlongs in 13 and 2. Brad Cox came back at 7:30 with the team of Jace's Road and Angel of Empire, the same team we saw here last week, and again, Angel of Empire, much the best of that pair, looking very good for a 2nd straight week to my eye. I took them from the half in 48 and 3. They might have broke off at the 4.5, as did the Verifying team earlier, but I took them from the half, 48 and 3, 101 and 1 for 5/8, a big, big gallop out. 14 and 3, Angel of Empire pulling away and galloping out all the way back down. Looked like almost to the half mile pole before he pulled up. So another thumbs up for Angel of Empire today. A tale of 2 works this morning. Shows you that time doesn't always matter in these workouts, whether they're Derby workouts or any workout in general. Keith DeSormo sent out Confidence Game, who had been conspicuous by his absence. He definitely missed some training time here last weekend, so he was eager to go today. He left the 3/4 pole. We timed him from the 5/8. My colleague Dave Brenning picked him up as I was had a couple of other watches going at the same time, and he got him from 5/8 pole in 59 and 2. He was definitely very eager, full of run leaving the pole and stayed out near the middle of the track and finished in 59-2, galloped out in 13-2. I thought it was a pretty good visual performance for confidence game. The key to this, his chance, is the fact that possibly, or perhaps, that he has not run a race now since late February. Now, in contrast to that 59-2 and 13-2 clocking, I think 13-2 gallop out, but I think the official clocking was 3/4 in 11 and something, was Mays, who went officially 3/4 in 16 and change. I caught him, picked him up at the half-mile pole, had him 49-4 to the wire, and then galloped out extremely well, as he usually does. I had him 103-2, and like I said, 16-2 for 6 furlongs from the half-mile pole. And this is just what they've been doing with him for the past several weeks. Decent work, and then a huge gallop out. Although I thought that the 2 gallop outs I saw from him his last 2 works at Gulfstream were better than he looked to me today. Now maybe that was on purpose, just not wanting to do too much with him just a week out from the race. Also, Cyclone Mischief, who still needs one more scratch to get in. He did work this morning just in case. Went 5/8 in 101 with Tammy Fox aboard, galloped out in 14-4. As for the Oaks workers, we had defining purpose. It was looked good to me here the past week or so. She went a zip to half in 47-2, did it easily, galloped out 1:03. And then Mimi Kikuchi, who I haven't really seen much of, she went a slow, easy half in 50-2. Started off slow, picked up the pace a little bit, but that was eased up, taken well off the rail, and didn't do much on the gallop out. One more Derby horse worth mentioning for what happened this morning was Dermer Sadagaki, who actually went to the starting gate and broke out of the gate amidst all these works going on. He had to stand in there a while to wait for the turn. The gate here is up near the quarter pole chute, and for workers out of the gate, you have to wait till that turn clears. Nobody's coming around as you're getting ready to break. So he waited patiently in there, and he broke out very sharply, but they pulled him up real quick. There was no workout intended today, and he's supposed to come back and work, as far as I know, on Tuesday. Also in California, at Santa Anita, Skinner, the last horse in at this point, who just got into the Derby field, went 6 furlongs in 13-4, according to my clocking colleague Toby Terrell, and he loved the gallop out. Got him out a full mile in 1:40-2 with his new rider Juan Hernandez aboard. So that's the story today. Again, almost all the Derby works are out of the way, but we still have a smattering to go. Rocket Can tomorrow, Disarm I'm thinking Monday. The Japanese horses and Ken McPeak's horse, Sun Thunder, I think are scheduled on Tuesday. So don't go anywhere out. We're going to be here. You stay here. A week to go to the Derby, only 6 days to the Oaks. So for the best coverage of both those races, stay right here, DRF.com.
Put yourself in position to win big on Kentucky Derby Day with the power of daily racing form. Visit shop.drf.com and get past performances, expert picks, betting strategies, clock reports, and more. Again, that's shop.drf.com.